Hi, I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Sophie, and we are here to help guide you to the why behind your wellness why.
Come join us on our journey.
Hey, Chelsea, how long have we been doing these podcasts for now?
Oh my gosh, you asked me too quickly. What is it? Well, we started in December of 2021.
Yeah, and we still don't know how to start them.
Fun fact behind the scenes, Sophie and I start recording, and like 5 minutes into the recording, we're like, so how should we start this?
It usually starts with giggles.
Yep, all the giggles.
But we have good news in that Chelsea and I are getting together.
We've said this a million times, but I still get people that are like, I didn't realize you and Sophie are in two separate places. And we haven't seen each other since October.
We're going on a work trip to Sedona.
Yeah, we are. We're so excited. We have some big things that we're trying to plan, and obviously just want to have fun too and see a new place. Neither of us have been to Sedona. So if anybody's listening to this that has been and wants to give us recommendations, we're gonna do some hiking, get outdoors, relax, eat some good food, all of our favorite stuff.
You know, just what personal trainers and dietitians do.
Yes. Yes.
So, on today's podcast, we're going to talk about when you see your providers, your dietitians, your personal trainers, anyone that really, even your hairstylist, your esthetician, who you're going to for, I guess, help, you could say, or assistance. And we're going to talk about being honest and not being honest.
Because I think we can all relate to this at some point in our life. Hopefully not a lot, but I'm glad you brought up hairstylists and nail salons and all of that, because I think we can relate to that sometimes. I know even me, like I was actually just talking to a friend about this, how I don't go and get my hair cut that much. My hair grows really slow, and not the hairstylist I go to now, but a long time ago, like they would recommend me coming in every 6 weeks. And
No.
yeah, like way too much for me. And so then I would go in and I would feel embarrassed because they would be like, oh yeah, like, and when's the last time you were in here? And I'm like, oh, like, I don't know. Same with dentist, like the going to a dentist every 6 months, and then you go in and obviously they can see it in your chart, but there's like a little bit of embarrassment of if you're not following the guidelines of that professional. So that's what we're going to talk about today, because it's really common, and I think it's important to talk about because number one, it is common, but number two, it's actually really hurtful to yourself. So we're going to talk about what we mean by that, some piece of advice, and yeah.
All right, let's dive in.
Maybe we should start out with some examples. So obviously I just gave the silly example of a hairstylist or going to the dentist, those little white lies of when you've last been or whatever, but let's bring it into our professions. Give us some examples of what we might see and why that might not be helpful.
Yes. So, from a personal training perspective, I have been definitely lied to or not told the truth. Definitely more so at like work, being a corporate personal trainer. I would give homework to like everyone, and everyone told me they did it when like I knew that wasn't true. Like, you know, when you were a high school athlete or a college athlete and you were gone for a break, and then your coach would try and like murder you when you got back to see if you were actually doing it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just like tell your coach, like, yeah, I didn't. Cause then he's not gonna try and like put you through the ringer. Like, I can tell when my clients aren't doing their homework because they're obviously just not gonna advance that quickly. And like lying to me is not hurting me, it's hurting you, like the client. But with that, it's funny now working for myself, I don't have clients lying to me. Like, I don't know if it's like because I have more serious clients, the serious ones stuck around. Because now I've had like half, actually more than half my clients for over half my career, which is crazy and amazing. But like, they don't lie to me anymore, as they shouldn't. Like, you don't need, like, I'm not your boss. I'm not your mom. Like, I'm not going to hurt you or shame you. Like, that's up to you to do the extra work outside of like the 2 hours a week I see you.
Yeah, I think I can't obviously talk for everybody, but because I see it as well, I totally agree from you from like a practitioner side or a professional side of now that I'm in my own business, I see it a lot less. And from my eyes, it's really interesting because um I in previous jobs, so like in the hospital setting and then also in the health club setting, insurance was involved. And so a lot of people were able to see me for free basically or like with a co-payment. And so it was really interesting with I don't and again, I don't want to say with every single one of my client, but there was quite a few clients that weren't taking it as seriously or would no show appointments or cancel last minute because there was no penalty, right? Like they were getting this through their insurance, so there wasn't any big commitment to it. And so being in my own private practice now, I do think it's a little bit different, but taking all of that aside, like taking the financial piece of it aside, I think one of the reasons your clients now, and probably with my clients as well, is you build a relationship with them. They trust you. Cause kind of like I said in the beginning, when I was giving the example of a hairstylist or a dentist, is like it's a trust thing or an embarrassment thing or feeling like you're going to be judged. And I don't want to say that 100% of the time, because I'm sure other people have other reasons, but I think a big part of it is it's not even like thinking about it before. It's just the provider will ask a question and like you're embarrassed, you feel like you're going to be judged, so like you just stumble on your words even though they might not be 100% true, not because you're trying to lie. Like nobody is trying to lie on purpose. Maybe maybe most people, I think, but it's more of out of embarrassment or feeling like you're going to be judged, you know?
I totally agree. And like I said, like it's kind of, I mean, in my situation, it's only going to hurt you. Like,
Yeah.
if you keep telling me you're doing your homework, I'm going to keep thinking I can advance you, like maybe a little bit quicker than someone else that isn't, but like that's not the case. You know what I mean? But luckily, that's like not really happening anymore. But again, and then just my thoughts with, I mean, telling like your doctor, if they do ask you, like, what do you eat in a day? Like last time I went, mine did. Like, I don't know that it's necessarily the smartest thing to lie to them, even though you might feel shame or Chelsea, because it's like, if they're keeping these records and then something does happen to you, like they need to look back at those records to kind of probably help map out the process of how then now you're not feeling good.
Yeah, 100%. And I think we all know that deep down inside, but it is really important to take a step back because I agree, like the smallest white lie, like telling even me, like a new client of mine, telling me what I eat in a day, I can't help you if I don't know the truth or you're not accurate with me. And same with a doctor, or same with a physical therapist, or a personal trainer, or a chiropractor. I mean, especially in the healthcare world, if you're seeking help, the only way we're able to help you is to know everything 100% transparency and accuracy. And there is absolutely no judgment. Like, we are here to help you succeed in whatever goals you have. And so there is absolutely no comparison or judgment or anything, because that's what we're here to do, to help you. And we want to help you. And the only way we can do that is if you come in with 100% honesty.
Preach. Like, you're so right. You said that very well. And none of your providers are 100% perfect. Like, I ate boxed mac and cheese Wednesday night. And I told Chelsea, and I was kind of like, oh, Chelsea's a dietitian. But I'm like, Chelsea doesn't give a shit. Excuse my language. But like, you know what I mean? Like, you just had to. There's days I don't feel like working out and I don't work out either. And I don't do quote unquote my homework. And like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. No provider is
Perfect.
perfect by any means at all. And so we're human and we're, yeah, we're here to help and we're not judging because we probably have been in your shoes or done something similar at some point because we're human. We've all eaten a box of mac and cheese.
It was a healthy box of mac and cheese.
Yeah, side note, you're telling me that, and whatever brand you said, I either didn't pick up on or I didn't know. So text me that because I'm curious now.
It's actually really good. I mean, I'm curious actually what you think, so I will be sending it to you. We'll let you know on our next podcast if Chelsea approves.
Next podcast titled Mac and Cheese Review.
I'm in.
Actually, that's actually not side note. That's actually another side note. That's actually not a bad topic, is talking about brands of things. But anyways, yeah, we need to write that down real quick.
I'm
1 second, everybody.
How would you feel if you knew someone wasn't telling you the truth, but like that person that you're talking to is just trying to help you?
Yeah.
And like, you could tell the person, like, I'm a little bit embarrassed, but I want to be honest with you. And tell them, like, you know, like, look, this is hard for me to tell you, but like, no, I haven't worked out in 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that person's not going to be like, oh my God, leave.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good way to think about it, is like, I know again with like a healthcare provider specifically, there is, especially if you're not comfortable with them yet or you haven't built that relationship, it is hard. But I think thinking about it as like a family member or a friend and switching it around of, you're exactly right, Sophie. Like, what if one of your family members or friends came to you and told you something and you were just wanting the best for them and you were just trying to help them out, but they weren't telling you everything. And then like what you're then telling them or giving them advice on or talking to them about is kind of a waste of time.
You can only help yourself as much as you're willing to help yourself. Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? If it makes any sense, like, you're
Mhm.
only going to get out what you put in, period. If you're obviously just not being open, which again is harder sometimes than you want it to be, but like, think of it in that way too.
Yeah. And I think so 2 big takeaways. One, just what Sophie said, like, it's to help yourself succeed in whatever your goals are. And 2, from a safety perspective. So things you are maybe saying to a doctor or a personal trainer, or I mean, really any healthcare provider, depending on what it is, it actually might be unsafe and harmful for you to tell. I mean, like medications is another great topic. If like a doctor prescribes you medication and you're not taking it, and then you're telling your doctor you're taking it or whatever, that can be really, really harmful. So yeah, we wanted to keep this one pretty short and sweet, but it's just something that's been on our minds because thankfully, like Sophie and I said, we don't see it as often in our practices, but it is common and I think everybody can relate to it. And so we just wanted to come out and say, like, I know it's easier said than done, to be honest, but just think about it. Because like I said, I think sometimes it's not even people are doing it on purpose. It's just they're doing it out of embarrassment or judgment or just habit sometimes. Like if you've told these white lies for a long time, then it could just be also habit too. So yeah.
Just let it out, be open.
Yeah. Any food for thought today?
I think the food for thought is, no matter, I guess, like, embarrassment or shame or the feelings you have, Try and remember that the more you tell, the more help you're going to be able to get.
Yeah, I'll add to that too. My food for that is for you to think about the past. I don't want to put like a timeline because I think everybody's different on this, but like with healthcare providers. So again, whether that be a therapist, a dietitian, a physical therapist, a personal trainer, a doctor, whatever, thinking over the past, whether it be month or 6 months or a year, whenever you've had interaction with any of these providers, can you think of any examples that you maybe have not been 100% honest with them? And what are those? And why have you maybe been doing that? Because as we always talk about, you can't make a habit change unless you know the why and you're aware that you're doing it, because you might not be aware that you're doing it. So that's my food for thought, is to think through an experience that maybe you've recently had with that.
Bam. Good one, Chelsea.
Well, have a good rest of the day, and we will catch you next time.
Talk later.
Bye.